Ms. Hamilton, is anybody else coming? Like you had Ms. Arias and Ms. Juliet were coming last time. Do we need
No.
to add anybody else to the list?
No, not as of yet. I've got people, because it came up so quickly. I'm not really used to.
Go for an hour, sorry.
It's okay. No. There's no problem.
Oh, 10-4. I'll be down to the office in a minute.
Ms. Martha says update our meeting participants, she can get it. And then I will ask someone to print it out.
So update, aren't the participants supposed to be officially on the IEP draft?
So you know how we, each time we circulate that sign-in sheet for who has attended the meeting?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about, updating the participants, because last time we met, as we have Ms. Arias and Ms. Juliet listed as a participant, I
Right.
took them off.
Okay,
Because they're
okay.
not in attendance today.
Right. And usually a lot of people don't show up on the team that should be in attendance, but we've already discussed that
Yes.
in ad nauseum. So I basically know everyone that is here, except for him. I think he's the IT guy, though.
He's the IT guy, he's getting
looks-
us all set up here,
Well,
so that we can, because you informed us this morning you wanted to tape.
Yeah, I just found out. Skylar's messed this thing all up. My printer is broken as well. If we have the IEP, are we passing it out, or is that my
We can make you a
responsibility?
copy.
That would be perfect, thank you. I've already looked it over, but I'm trying to go paperless, thank you. So we're almost 15 minutes behind, as usual. We're only usually 5 or 10 minutes late, but I'm wondering, do we need to wait for Mr. Vincent, or?
No, we can start.
Perfect.
Let me finish that.
Okay. All right. Let's really quickly do introductions, just so that we're all clear on who's here today. I am Dr. Erin Stone. I am the Autism and Behavior Services Coordinator for Alexandria City. And we're here today to continue developing the annual IEP for Skylar.
I'm Val Williamson, Administrator for Special Ed 912. I apologize for my voice.
Wendy Lassek, BCBA.
Jacqueline Evans McCray, teacher and case manager.
Forrester, speech language pathologist.
Janice Cheeseman, occupational therapist.
Laurie Hamilton, legal guardian, mother, and supermom.
Rita Thomas, Bernard, adopted PE teacher.
And as you mentioned, Mr. Vincent will be here. Do you notice that that thing is working?
Yeah.
Okay.
it's-
All right, good. Oh, good. All right, excellent. So we are, don't unplug it. We are audio taping. All right, we have previously met to review the present level of performance. And unless there is any questions, concerns, or other further input to the present level of performance, I'd like to start with the goals if we could.
Is that the goals for the coming?
The coming year.
Right, so I think from Wednesday, when we all met with Mr. Vincent, Mr. Dingle, you, and Ms. Williamson, my concerns that have been basically unheard, as however loud I yell with my cheerleader voice that I've acquired. I'm still... With the IEP, I'm kind of wondering, well then, if she's going into DARS, where she was supposed to last year, you weren't here last year. So last year her dad took over we're going to deal with that, and him. I've been dealing with it all myself, and I've asked the panel to even show up to work or meetings and what have you. That's been denied as well, continually, and she hasn't met her goals. The guy, whoever, I forgot the lady, the advocate's name, but David's advocate from last year.
Vanessa Brownlee.
Brownlee, okay. So whatever their paperwork and everything that they were working on, I'm still kind of confused to really how, because it was all a blur.
Okay.
It's basically, I've been a fog of war for about 3.5 years now. My concerns with her safety, her lack of safety, meaning continually for the 5 years that we discussed on Wednesday, and that I've ad nauseum brought up the neglect of her nutritional. She's not supposed to be eating certain things. She likes to eat things, and there's been a constant problem with her putting things in her mouth and me discovering objects coming out of her.
Bowel movement.
Yeah, right. So, and that just keeps getting ignored too. So with Skylar's history, it's as the mother and the official professional of Skylar, and I'm not really sure how you worded it, Miss Williamson, the other day, but I am the professional living the autism, studying it, researching it, and I've been denied continually. Miss Evans McCrae, that I'm not really sure what's, however, the login sheet, the missing of days, the missing of basically the year, how you're getting your data, and there's just so many questions. With the IEP, this is basically run on David's, or rather Miss Brownlee or whomever, and I basically object to all of it. But with all of my questions that I don't have the ability, you said, Miss Wednesday, to have a little bit of faith. And, I live by faith, but I don't live by faith in people. I told Mr. Dingle, I said, it is like an abusive marriage. I'm just living on survival mode, and I'm sorry that we don't have the mutual respect, however that, professionalism or whatever you've got going on in your life, I get it. Ms. Stone, you and I have already spoken, so we've pretty much got that under control. My problem is that I know safety. I know what Skylar needs, and it's being ignored and denied continually. I think that just from an educational point, this is perfect. But we really need to take into consideration, hierarchy of needs, and they're not even being met. So I'm not really quite sure how, because I have my own education plan and nutrition plan and everything that's not being implemented by the school, that her needs are not being met, and it's just not a good match. And I tried to cry that out for the past 2 years. And the continual safety issues, that because she is very, that she's very oral, she needs the stimulation, and just it's not being met. I'm really without words, and I'm trying to, as I have with pretty much all the teachers, I've continually asked you for help, but I realize just from a breadth of experience and knowledge and what have you, that you basically have quit. I don't need quitters on my team. And I realize that you're doing just whatever's needed, but that's just not enough. It's just not enough. You, Miss Occupational, I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. I don't mean to be rude or anything, but I don't really see you a lot. So it's kind of hard.
I'm there
Right.
Thursday when you pick her up. I see her Thursday and Fridays.
Okay, so her occupational, you guys are who I have wanted to really, collaborate with. You've showed up a few times and I've seen you consistently, and I'm much obliged that you've, taken an incentive and really realized how serious I am. However it is that whatever you're doing, I'm just not happy with whatever the goals are. Now you
focus
got, I'm
last
sorry, I'm
year-
speaking, I'm
your
sorry.
focus
I'm
last
sorry,
year
I'm
was-
speaking, I'm pleased. So I just really want to get this out because there's really, we go by faith, right? We're leaders, we're teachers. I'm walking the walk and I'm trying to explain to you guys really the importance of, Skylar's my last call, my last bit, and that her teachers and father and whomever are not as invested as me. I understand that. But my nanny had gangrene and she had to cut it off. I really, on Wednesday, I said, with it, autism is a fierce thing, and I've had a lot of issues with Skylar. We need to cut the gangrene. I do not need anyone on the team that is not completely invested, whether or not they are comfortable with me and my approach, my fervent dedication to my child. It's not going to quit. So I've been around and around and around and trying to get someone to listen. Finally, thankfully, Mr. Cooney, I know his name now. I call him the Calm River. He's really working with me, and we have the appointment on May 10th.
May 10th.
Right. So I, not being privy to information that I'm allowed by law, state, federal, what have you, I've been in the dark. And I'm trying to shed some light on you guys. That as much as you guys' salary and experience affords you the abilities to do what you do, it's my faith in man and woman. I'm trying to just teach you guys. And I went away Wednesday. I said, I'm going to have a little faith, but I have yet to have any one of you guys have faith in me. Thank you. So I really don't think it's fair that I should have to succumb to my daughter's safety, really. That we could sit here and talking about an educational plan when I am always worried about her safety, and that's not being met. It is not being met. I just, whatever the laws, I'm working with a few of my colleagues and whomever just to weed through, but I don't like the navigation of these affairs. I don't. I'm a loss of words. I'm speaking from the heart. I've documented. I've tried to reason and figure out how. They're the titans that we could think so small. How can we think so small and just shove aside just because a person is handicapped or I can't for the life of me have faith in anyone that really doesn't have faith in me, because I know and I lived it. So Skylar has really, in the past 2 years that I've not been able to go to work and, been dealing with trying to find care and any kind of assistance in, that she has all of these grants that she's what is the community? Have you spoken with Juliette Milushev?
Now I've
for
had a
the
list of,
Right, so she has all of these grants and all of, federal funding from, well, I'm not gonna talk data or anything, I'm just kinda talking out, since
the
we're
waiver,
supposed to be a
right?
team, because we don't usually, something's amiss, somebody's not showing up, and I'm really concerned about this, and I haven't, you said that Wednesday, I said, well, what gives you the right to dismiss someone? I am supposed to be the one to say, okay, well, wait a minute. You came in, Miss,
But no, it's not just gonna hurt.
right, so, I do appreciate that you said, may I leave or what have you, because I didn't know that. I haven't, I'm a teacher, but, I'm a special ed teacher, but I haven't gone through the training to know that, well, wait a minute, I am supposed to dismiss someone from a meeting, not someone else. And I wasn't given that ability
and
consistently.
there is an excusal form that was.
Right, so
that
it's
requires
about, if it's
signature.
about confidentiality, I'm not sure, I'm not trying to go through I'm very transparent. And if someone has to hide behind the veil of confidentiality with me, then why would I put my faith in that person? Because that I've been proven time and again that I cannot have faith. Not in you, Miss Williamson. You're new to this, so I'm trying to bring you in, other than just by, the paperwork or what have you. It's very important that Skylar is getting the safety, nutrition, everything, because when she eats certain things, the milk, pork, beef, there's consistently, do I need to document everything and write everything down in a log? I'm trying to figure out any way to be able to talk to you guys, because I know that, we're on different levels, and we should all be.
And I'm gonna, and you will see in the IEP that I'm gonna document that you feel that staff are not putting forth full effort, that you feel that Skylar's needs are not being met, that you feel like that, now I did hear you say that educationally you felt this document was adequate.
No.
Oh.
No, this is David's document.
No,
is
this
David.
is the new one.
No,
This
but
is
I'm
the
just
one
saying, whatever we've been working on from last
From
year,
last year is here.
and basically the year before, David has always had the reins.
So this is a brand new document.
So, right, so with that, a lot of these goals that, he wants to work with ES, and I know that you were trying to struggle with, what we're gonna have to do with this. He doesn't think like that. And that you trying to explain to someone that doesn't understand, I get it, daughter of Skylar.
And I actually put it in there that you agreed that we need to move on to a different area. And I do
Many
think
areas.
And I do think our goals this year are in a different focus.
Right, so the different focus that I'm more worried about is actual just if she's going into DARS, or because she's not in the right place with Miss Jacqueline. I don't know if it's the 3 students. I haven't figured out the numbers with the placement. But Skylar is not at the same level as the other students. She has advanced in the past 2 years that I have not been able to work, and I focused just on Skylar. I'll send her here and then implement whatever you guys are doing with the S. I'm working not with the finger, I'm working holistically. Because if it seems like you guys are looking from the inside, I'm looking from the outside and inside. So with that, we really need to think of, okay, whoever is really, I'm actually really, my authentic self. You did. So for me to, come off now, I know it's a little bit awkward and I'm shaky, but I'm here vulnerable. Asking, you're committed. I know you're committed. I don't know your name, I'm sorry. You know what I mean, but I see what
teacher.
Skylar needs and who are providing her needs and who aren't. And I cannot allow her to stay in the same environment that is not beneficial for her educationally, nutritionally, safety, what have you. I'm not sure how the IEP and DARS are going to be, I'm not sure.
How they come together.
Right. So, with the occupational therapy, I need an occupational therapist that is committed with to be able to work with me. I'm actually not very hard to work with, but when I'm in protective mode, I know it's difficult to understand, but I've tried to explain it in different reasons and ways and, with different articles of facts. And I'm glad that you guys aren't listening to David, I hope. We're not listening to David, we're listening to Mom, right?
So with that in mind,
Mm-hmm.
after our conversation on Wednesday,
Right.
I want to ask you to listen to some of the pieces that are in the new IEP.
Right. I've definitely.
And let us try to pull those connections for you.
Right.
Okay? Between what we're suggesting academically and how that's gonna fuse forward with DARS, because it is a fused piece, okay?
Definitely.
It's
Multidisciplinary.
Right. So I think the transition information is helpful, am I correct?
We've
Yes.
got to start on the transition and talking about like what are the goals that we have there, so that then the IEP goals
Right.
connect to that. And I think that they're going to connect with what you would like to see post high school.
Right.
So
Because the DARS is still
a process.
what, Mr. Callisto, is that with the DARS program? What, Skylar needs to be with Aaron, Shima, Philip, and a few other people. That's basically what we were thinking about for about 5 years that I was talking with, a few of the parents from the Lee Center.
Okay.
I really would like to see that happen. I've continued to ask, how do we get in? I've asked Mr. Callisto, I've asked, a few other of the teachers, I've asked you guys. Wednesday, well, actually, maybe not Wednesday, but the prior IEP. I need to figure out which program and which class that Skylar's going to be able to get into that won't be in with Miss
Okay, so
Evans McCrae.
what's happening, Mom, is we're jumping over the bridge instead of walking across it, okay?
Right, well, the bridge
So
has been
we have
burned.
to- We're building a new bridge.
Well, we
right?
can build a boat.
This- We can build whatever you want to build.
Perfect.
We've got to get across the river.
Right
okay?
on. I can
This
swim.
IEP is
The bridge,
the
so
avenue
the-
to get across. Okay?
Right.
Sail.
So
Right.
can we work through this
The
transition document and let's see what the program's the end result. Where she's going to end up is the end result. Let's walk through the document and get her there.
Okay.
Okay.
See,
Because-
that was my major question because
Yeah.
IEP has always been, just,
And the IEP,
I've never approved.
And the IEP is those services and goals that we want to work on. Regardless of what class she's placed in, we still have to identify our priorities and the goals. And that's what this is talking about. Because whether she's taught by, it doesn't matter who the teacher is or the service provider, because those change. It really is about what do we want them to focus on, and that's what this is talking about. So this is
I know
really,
it, the IEP.
Yeah.
I've dealt with it in Germany and
since she was a baby.
since she was 2. So, but I've never had such. I'm trying to find a nice word. I just don't feel respected, Miss. I understand. I do.
I don't understand what the issue is. I've tried, the goal that I addressed was the, writing the initial goal. I've also worked with ADL skills. But the focus, that was I did explain to the team at the time that this was a very difficult goal to master, so I put my focus in it. And when you explained that you worked holistically, so did I. It wasn't just the tablet, because the tablet requires a lot of, fine motor
Focus.
skills, visual motor skills. So I worked, dry erase and everything.
Mhm.
And I was willing to continue, but I thought that that was the focus of the team. I will do whatever you and the team want me to do as far as addressing what skill.
Coming from now, but this is from past experience, just between, you were on David's team. I don't want anybody
I'm not
from.
really
I know.
on anybody, you
Right,
know what I mean?
right, but this
Just
is
tell me
from-
what you think is important, and
I think
will
my
do it.
daughter.
And what the team thinks is important for me to do,
Right.
because I'm a member of the team.
I don't agree. I don't feel like you have been a good team player for Skylar. And there's been a lot of constant, it's kind of hard to explain feelings, but I think I know when I'm not liked. I get it. We can't get along with everyone, but I've put out so much energy, and just to be shut down in a conversation is something that I've sacrificed everything for you and whomever, to pick up the you've got a good salary, you got a good racket you got, however it is with whatever system. I've worked in a lot of different countries, and it's really a shame that, some people can have the glory and what have you, and I'm not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it.
Lori,
Or feeling it.
can I ask that?
If she was going to be the OT, because a lot of it in here, I said, well, wait a minute. Is that going to be covered, or is that going to need to, there's a lot of intricate pieces that I'm sure with DARS that I'm not sure that, that would be the same team. But I've said my piece, and I have a lot. It's not just one thing. It's a whole,
And I know that you have expressed frustration about how things have gone in the past, especially with your feeling like you didn't get to have as much contribution that was taken seriously. I know that that has always been one of your big concerns. We're here specifically to listen to that and incorporate that into this document.
perfect. So in this document, though, are the providers going to be changed to be able to look forward? Because I'm looking forward, and I can't work with a team that is not good for Skylar. That's why I'm wondering. I'm like, DARS is my hope. DARS is, it's going to be working on, functional things, not worrying about state standards. And
So the IEP doesn't ever name specific providers.
Mhm.
It names services,
Mhm.
times, and goals.
right.
Providers are not an IEP team decision.
Okay, so we need to look to that then, that I keep asking and asking and asking about that. So that's another piece that we can put.
And that's
Know
like,
that.
that's gotta be like,
Know that I will not
I think that's
stop
gonna be,
asking.
I think that's on the other side of the river.
That's the next step.
Right,
We need to get an IEP in place,
Mhm.
so we know who the providers are gonna be.
okay,
So that we know what they're supposed to
Not who they
do.
are,
Right.
who we need,
right,
okay?
right,
And then, once we've got this IEP ready,
right,
we've signed, we've moved on, then we'll have a conversation about what's the most appropriate placement and who are the best providers for that placement,
okay.
okay?
Now, because I really do want to go into DARS, wouldn't I benefit more, rather Skylar benefit more, but since I'm her eyes, ears, and brain, wouldn't it benefit more if I got all the information from the 10th about what she's going to be doing to be what DARS is. I need to know all the information with that to know, okay, well, wait a minute. If they're going to be doing this, she's going to, because I have, I'm working with cleaning, washing dishes. She has a severe water fetish, so I use that to my advantage. You know, here, let's wash some
clean.
clothes. We're going to wash them. We're going to mop. And she's doing, you know, I'm thinking that.
Well, I think that the DARS, you have an initial appointment, and there is a process for DARS.
Right.
That could take more than one appointment.
Sure.
So then what I would like to recommend is this. Let us get through the document today.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can all provide our contributions and input, and then if we are able to finish our work today, then that's great. When we get the outcome from these appointments from DARS, we can have an addendum to consider
Right.
all of their
If there's more
input
that we have to
and make
add in.
any
Right.
changes then. But it's a process, and I don't want to hold up this process for that one because they work on two different timelines.
Sure.
So is that okay?
Right. I'm thinking, this is the whiteboard. So I'm just trying to, you know, get my color palette out.
Yeah.
That's basically
And I
this
gotta put
is.
DARS over here in red.
Okay, right.
While the school is over here in blue. When they finish their work, then we can come together and get a little green going. I don't think red and, well, purple. I'm trying to use.
I teach color theory,
I'm
but you
clearly
know
not the artist.
You're thinking about Jill Stein, my girl. I hear you. Okay, I know.
But if we can keep their colors
Right.
separate for now,
Sure.
we will merge them later when we can actually, when they get their process done.
Right.
Because we started ours way before them. So they're going to be, so we're up here. They're now getting started on May 10th. I'd like to be done with this thing before then, and then we'll come back together again
Right.
here.
Right. I'm working all
trying
the
to be
colors.
visual.
I'm working all the colors at the same time. So
Yes,
I
and
still
it's a
have.
juggling act.
Right.
But
So I just
before it
I'm.
becomes a
You
salad.
guys are right here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah, I know, you've got all the
So-
things you're juggling. So can I refocus us? You know
Sure,
me,
sure,
I
sure,
told you
sure.
I'm gonna be I'm gonna be the
like-
one that brings us back to business.
Come on to the hive.
Aaron, I just would like you to make a, talk about district-wide programs, how they address functional skills. Because I feel like, you know, I am part of a program,
Mhm.
and that
Yep.
the goal of the program at this point is to address functional skills.
Right. Right.
It's not
That's
just a
all
functional
I've been
only.
looking on.
Independent
Function.
living.
That's
Concerned,
all
but I'm
I've
looking
been
at the
concerned with.
program As
Yeah.
I'm part of the program.
Part of a program who helps us do in many areas. And I'd like to believe that the goals that are in this year's IEP are very functional, are very much related to independent living, post-high school employment, and the highest level of functioning that Skylar can have as an
Ability.
adult with us. That's what we want to set her up for when she leaves here and gets into adult services. And I do believe these goals are very functional and very much focused on that goal. But we are part of a team that's all working towards that, and we all have so much to offer in different ways, not just writing, or because I do, we need to follow up a little bit on some eating, dietary restrictions. There was an point, oral stimulation, those kinds of things that your contribution is really important for. So I don't think there's any one peg that you fit into. I think you have a lot to offer the team in many ways. And I think that we're all working to get this really useful document done. So I'm going to ask you to turn to page 4 with me. On page 4, you start with the secondary transition. And this looks at what are we going to do, what are our goals for Skylar post T.C. Williams?
Correct.
Whenever that may be. So the first one, it looks at what are the assessments that we've done with her. And these have been reviewed. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go there in my whole document here.
Just the whisk and the.
Well, even beyond those, the transition assessments that we would look at are really the standardized transition assessments that we would give other students are not appropriate for Skylar.
No.
A lot of what we would do with Skylar are practical observations of what does she like to do and what is she really good at.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very much informal for her. It's not going to be, you know, a lot. I think all high schoolers in TC Williams take a Naviance question and answer test,
Correct.
and that isn't appropriate for her.
Right.
The other assessment that I've done with students that have severe disabilities are picture cards
Sure.
of places, but Skylar doesn't always reference the pictures, so those aren't appropriate for her. So again, our assessments with Skylar are really informal and based on our understanding of what she's good at, what she likes to do, or what she may fight us less on. And one of the things we got out of the present level is vocational and math are the two areas where she does tend to have the most consistent attempts to hit people.
Right.
So we know that vocational activities are not her favorite. However, I think there are things that those are the tests that she actually kind of does really well on too. But when we look at, it says here transition goals. Number 2, post-secondary education. Skylar will continue to learn and expand on living and vocational skills that will be transferable to adult living. And I think that's, I'm going to make an assumption that we're in agreement with that goal.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
And then describe how this, and then she will continue to learn and I said the same thing, sorry. But then the activities we want to do related to that is she's going to meet with the Career Center staff and counselors for planning and support. And that's really Mr. Cooney's support, making connections to DARS, and looking at whatever CSB transition paperwork or documentation we have to do. And that's what that says under.
The CSB, is that with Milushev or that, do I have
I don't know.
someone
Is
else?
Juliet part of CSB?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, so that linkage is one of them.
Right, so we need to cut that link.
Well,
So that's like,
not
that's,
necessarily, you don't want to cut a link with CSB.
they're a
Right, but
funding source.
right, but the funding is there, but we're not receiving, she's not receiving, I need to look into how much that grant is as well too, because she's not receiving her personal care or her respite that that is a whole nother thing. And
Yeah,
I spoke with Milusha this morning, and I am looking for another worker.
okay.
I've been
Right.
in that
We
for
don't
about
wanna-
4.
We don't want to cut off CSB.
Right, but I do want to cut the link with Juliet, and I'm in that process.
Okay.
So I've been in
So
that
you're
process
working
for
over
some
here on
years.
that.
Yes.
So that's a whole other color palette?
Sure. So that's a whole nother canvas.
Yes, it is, because those are things, like that whole agency and oversight is like really beyond our oversight.
It's red tape. It's red tape. Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, it's
of
not even connected to us.
right. It's
So, but we agree that goal, learn and expand on living and vocational skills transferable to adult living, that we agree is a good focus. Moving down a little bit further, we talk about continue learning skills that will be transferable. At the bottom of the page, we'll train in activities that promote independent living and mobility. And then at the top of page 5, we talk about Skylar. One of the ways we're going to get there, she will participate in vocational and pre-vocational activities within the classroom and in the school community. And we did have her attend her IEP meeting. She attended at our last IEP meeting. She's actually attended.
she's
a few.
attended a few of them. Yeah.
She's attended a few.
Yeah, I didn't want to overstimulate her today.
And then one of the other activities that we want to do is have her continue to participate in activities in the school and classroom that are vocationally related. And again, we want to connect with CSB to make that connection to adult services. About the middle of the page, she's going to continue to train in activities that promote mobility. And actually, we have a goal directly in our IEP today that will talk about community mobility. And so the things we want to do is we want to have her under the activities heading. It says participate in community-based instruction. And again, participate in those pre-vocational activities in the school. but having community-based activities outside of the school. All right? Under employment, the heading there says, our goal is to explore part-time employment in a supported environment. And one of the things we want to do to support her ability to be employed out of high school is that we will continue to participate in activities that simulate work-based situations. And I think some of that is working with Mr. Cooney on and doing other activities within the building that simulate a workplace environment.
May I ask, how is she doing in her, when you have her with her mobility? Is she, because I've been working a lot of like physical therapy and, different.
I'm not a therapist now.
No, but this is just from my
Just any
training and
movement,
what have
yes,
you
and,
that.
well, she loved exercise bands. That's one thing.
Yes.
Yes, she loves
yes,
that.
Uh-huh.
She loves exercise bands. She loves the exercise ball. Those issues we don't have problem with. When it comes to long, like putt golf, that's what we're doing.
That's aiming. That's focus. Yeah.
Yeah, she pretty much doesn't like,
All right, TC
and it also depends on the person
This
you're working with
is
as
it.
well.
This is our last period of the day. However,
when it
just want
comes
to
to
remind you, we
pumping,
want to end on a
she's
high note.
fine
Please
some
make
days,
sure
some
you make it
some
to
days
class
she
on
like, okay,
time. Hall sweep in
up and
full
away,
effect. Again, hall sweeps are in full
She's a basketball
effect.
player.
You now
And then,
have
you know, there's
exactly
those
3
days where
minutes,
she's a frisbee.
17.5
Something I
seconds.
really want to work with that though. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
somehow. Please go ahead because I'm
And
really
then,
interested
but at the
in.
same time, she does track the ball, the golf ball, when it's going to the hole. Then some days she's not. She just depends on what mood she's in.
Right.
And then when it comes to bowling, she has no issue because we bowl off a ramp. She just go and push. But when it comes to swinging, it's like, okay, Skylar, we have to prompt her because she's not excited
And then
about
she
it.
does
or-
like this with the stick. And is there a lesson plan or something that maybe that you can email me that I can maybe tweak? I went through the whole weight loss kind of thing, and I did karate and cheering,
Update,
and
you now have less than a minute.
I'm
Thank
trying
you.
to work with a lot of the bone deformations and stretching with her. Is there any way that we
I
can
can-
get
okay.
together and say, okay,
Yes.
what are we doing this day? Because, I'm really big on nutrition. She's not supposed to have milk. She gets constipated, no this, no that, no this and that. And
Is that something a medical form that you gave to the team? That's why I want to ask.
I'm not
The nutrition part.
everything was going on David, but
Okay.
I'm the one that's
Okay.
detoxifying her and working with that because I've noticed it's a imperialistic case study, so I noticed certain colors, or I'll look to this and I'm, just really changing her
Yeah.
toothpaste and things, but a lot of that when she's hitting or whatever, she doesn't like what she's doing. But if she doesn't like what she's doing, you can make her do it if she likes who she's working with.
Right. Exactly.
That is big. I had that discussion with, did you call me over the summer? Somebody called me over the summer, and I have to look at the email. But I did this big questionnaire interview on the
I
phone.
have that written down here. There was an appointment last summer where you actually had to come up here and meet with somebody.
Right, and we were talking about.
I don't remember the.
I have
it in
What was the agency?
I have an email.
I don't know.
I remember it.
She was a young girl, but anyway, she was asking me, well, what is it? Because Skylar's very effective. And I try to, I can't remember.
I've had other kids, they've done that with this year.
And I think it was a whole new,
Yeah. He said it takes about 2 hours.
yeah.
Yes.
But it was like a holistic from behavioralistic thing to
We can
figure
find
out,
out
because
for you.
Skylar's very effective. So whenever she's doing that, think of, she don't like me today, or what did she eat, or did she sleep? Because that's what it comes down to. She either doesn't like you, she'll do what she doesn't want to do.
Oh, I know who she likes working with. And who she
Right. So that is very big.
Right.
So if there ever gets into something like that, she definitely needs
and
to.
also her cycle.
Sure. Okay, so
So
you
these are
see
certain
that,
thi-
right,
right.
okay. But I really am looking towards, okay, if there's that seasonal thing that she's not doing something, we need to come in and have accommodations, not
Okay.
just give up and,
Oh,
you
we
know,
don't
oh,
give
it's
up.
easier. No, I'm not saying for
Oh,
you,
yeah.
but I notice sometimes when she comes home, she's wet and whatever happens throughout the day, that she should be out of diapers because that was definitely a goal for the past forever, but for the past, since she's been here, it's definitely been on there. Going by that, take that into consideration because, you know, she has to have certain things, but we need to get that off. The brain gut thing is a major issue.
And so we have PE on Mondays from 2 different times. So let me think here.
Yeah, no,
It
just,
may change.
is it like 3 days a week? They're
It's
probably
2
Monday,
days.
2 days,
2
okay.
days a week.
Mondays and
It's
Thursdays. okay.
Monday from
Just
10
Monday and Friday, right?
Monday and Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Okay, that's
But it's
good.
2 different times. So
Right.
Wednesday is from 9:30 to 10:15, and then on Monday is from 10:15 to 11:15. Right? Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so, I don't want to
But,
get,
and I want you to come in and see what we do, and then that way you can see the exercise band too, because I know you want to consider her, you know, building her strength.
right, it's not about me coming in because I'm trying to find
Well,
a
me
job.
come
I'm
with
trying
me.
to,
I know.
I'm
you and me.
trying to kind of leave your jobs to you guys. That's really, I can't do your jobs for you. I can't, you know, so, but I know that physical, she has to get that gut off. But, you know, and I know that you're working different things, but since I found out that she is drinking milk, I've noticed.
So are
It's
So
messing with her
am I hearing that you're
bones.
requesting, I don't mean to interrupt, you're requesting some written activities or exercises that she does
can do?
here?
Maybe, yeah, I'm trying to think of maybe that
We
if,
do
okay,
different
whatever
stations.
you're doing, I can do it at home too, because I do different things. Okay, good.
All right.
But
I just wanted to open up that line of
Do we need to
communication.
make a note in her lunch stuff that milk is,
Milk, pork, beef.
There are other
I thought
dietary restrictions?
I thought that, I mean, that's been a given. I've been pushing that, like,
what I'm saying is, we can notify the cafeteria to put it in her record. And when it's put in her record, then when she goes through the line or when food is chosen for her, that food is not,
I thought that was already in
Well, I
place.
wanna make
Yeah,
sure, so-
definitely. Yeah,
is
because
it
I've
not there? Okay.
been
I want to focus
Sorry,
back to our
sorry, I'm
work.
sorry, I just,
I know.
Just
I'm
write
gonna-
me your email, that's all, and then we can go in.
I'll
Thank you,
take care
ma'am.
of
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm gonna focus us back, we're on page 6, under independent living. And it says, you know, the goal will be that she lives in a supported home setting. Yes. And then the activities we want to do to ensure that we can get there is she's going to do a unit on community helpers, complete a unit on community participation, and participate in activities involving self-care and that support daily living. And I know that we have goals directly related to those today. All right, and then the last part at the bottom of page 6 is the transition details. And again, this is a little bit more of a little bit of a summary. We're going to complete coursework leading to an applied studies diploma when she graduates. She's going to participate in extensive direct instruction based on the aligned standards. Her community experience, she will continue doing community-based instruction. She will be exposed to recreation and leisure activities, and then having that communication where we're making sure you know the activities and exercises in that school so that she can do more at home with you. Daily living, she will continue to work on self-care and self-help. All right, is there any questions about the transition plan?
I mean, I have many, but, no, I'm just gathering. I'm gathering right now, so
So we reviewed the present level. When you go to page 8, these are the factors, and a lot of this is a summary of what's already been reviewed by the whole team. When we look at number 1, what are the evaluations? This is a summary of her May 2015 eligibility testing. The number 2 are the strengths. She's progressing in her ability to respond to verbal and gestural prompts, and she appears to like walking in the school and in the community. She likes to be out and about. Number 3 is her needs, academic, developmental, and functional. She performs below grade level in all academic areas, and she requires assistance to participate and engage in academic, vocational, and life skill activities. There's a space here for the concerns of the parent.
It's quite small.
It hasn't been filled in yet.
Right,
I
so,
you'll
and
see a
I'm
running record in the.
right, I'm an artist, so I'm gonna do it not like this. Yeah.
So I'm gonna put in there.
I'll probably need to, I'll just do an addendum or what have you that can link on to it later on.
Mm-hmm. And you'll see, when you see the final document, you'll see a running record of some of the concerns that you have shared
Sure.
in the section that's titled Parent Input.
Right.
So you'll see that. This is going to be a summary, so it may just simply have a statement that says, Ms. Hamilton has expressed many concerns related to her safety, instruction, and progress in the school setting, but then
And then it'll
it's
go
longer
into
in
the
another
artifact,
section.
right, okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Number 5 is communication. She's nonverbal, exhibiting severe to profound expressive and receptive delays. Number 6 is her benchmarks. We know we want to have short-term objectives for some of her goals so that we're able to mark progress towards the full goal. We do know that she needs low and high-tech assistive technology. That's number 7. We know that she uses a variety of different types of assistive technology to help her communicate as well as complete tasks. Number 8, we know she has a behavior intervention plan, and that behavior intervention plan is addressing aggressive behaviors. The BIP has got a reinforcement system, a functional communication process, and consequential strategies to ensure that she is able to get a break if she needs it. And we actually have seen data that says she's getting better in her aggressive behaviors. We're seeing a reduction.
I've been working, that is why where I was going, it's important about, how she's feeling, who she's with, since she's so, she just doesn't like who she doesn't like, and she likes who she likes, period. So it's not like, well, you don't like them, but you have to work with them. They don't understand that. So, or rather, she definitely doesn't understand. I don't understand it either, but,
One of the things, I will say this, I'm going to contradict you a little bit, is I do think that what we have seen is she has very strong preference about certain activities.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, even when we mix up who works with her at that activity, it's about the activity. Because we've changed people that do specific activities, like we could have Miss Woods, Mr. Lott, Ms. Evans-McCrae. I know Janice has been there. I know Deb has done different activities.
Like which activities?
Like the vocational tasks.
Right, so like anything that, what do you mean, just examples?
So give me some examples in regards to like the differences in the activities that you guys have worked on that when it's math, when she has to do her math activity. And it might be that she's like, oh.
No, I hated math. I love it now, but that's an acquired taste. So
Even when we take her and do her math, like when she's got those templates and she's having to put the blocks in the template to show that she's finished, it's not about who works with her, because sometimes Miss Pat will do it, sometimes Mr. Lott will do it, sometimes Miss Evans-McCrae will do it, and it's like, I don't like this activity. It really isn't about the person when it comes to that. So we do see that as a preference for her.
And a lot of that is approach as well too. So I don't embarrass, because y'all know that by now. So I have as a free agent, I noticed that, she likes a little silliness. I know that, that doesn't go over well.
The
And
coaxing.
professionalism for, you guys would never do what I do. But that's how I get over that. Y'all want to see my dancey pants? Y'all want to have fun? Y'all want to like me?
There's no video
You can look
on the
through.
taping today.
I really am sorry. This is just between, this is, okay, y'all don't have to do this, but it's really, I think Miss Pat would like this, okay? All right, we're gonna pull the pants up, right? We're working, okay, with the stretching. I use those little things and I have a little dance. And you're not only working with your thumbs, and she's moving, I forgot the, right. So you're working and your muscle memory, because she'll come home like this. I'm like, what? Somebody's pulling her pants up. I know David does it. So I have to work over that hump again. But there's a whole little thing that I use learning in memory. You use music to learn something. And then she'll go in there and she'll start dancing. I'm like, and then I have to stop. What are you doing? And she's still dancing. So it works. But I know that you guys won't be able to do it, but I'm trying to think of how we can integrate it without y'all actually having to go and do the dance, to maybe just do it with her. I haven't figured that one out yet, but it works.
But you're still speaking to that pairing process.
Sure.
Those staff members
Right.
pairing themselves with things that are motivating
Right,
to
yeah.
Skylar, and that what you're describing is something that she's motivated by with you.
Anything with music, that's why I'm kind of thinking, because with math, but when we go into I have different lesson plans and things that work with the math, with like common sense and instinctual. Remember I said, well, I'm really working on instincts.
Okay.
Things that you wouldn't think. You have working with the elastic, you can do geometry. Working with stripes and matching. There's so many. The sky's the limit. So we really need to kind of open up. I did say I am defiant, okay, because I can't work within the system and do the same thing over and over and over. That is insanity. It's not working, so let's try something else. We get to a point as teachers where you're just tired, you're burnt. Maybe it would give a little fire and juice, and I've got a lot of salsa in my blood, so, just be open.
Adding in some dancing.
Or to that effect. I'm just thinking, from a neurological perspective, she doesn't have that neuroplasticity. She's working from this. You'll have her working from here, and then you're trying to switch her over automatically to work from here. If you can work in together, then it would have that muscle memory, intrigue or what have you that autism. Do you need to go, Miss Ma'am?
I sent the
however,
notice to the.
so-
No, I sent the notice to
Okay.
to the school.
Okay, but I'm just thinking if it's definitely a focus thing, because she doesn't want to do certain things, so that's why I'm using the water, the mopping, vacuuming, and working different angles, and she has her endurance and dexterity has really come along. I don't know if y'all, that's a whole nother beast. But if we can think about it, okay, what are we working for in S? Is this, like Laverne and Shirley? I didn't
we're
really.
moving on.
You know
We're
what I'm
moving on.
saying?
I
But I
know,
was
but we're
just like,
moving
wait a
on.
minute. I'm trying to
I
work
did
with,
express my concerns at the meeting last
and
week.
I was with you, and I'm like, okay, why just an S,
No, I was
Supergirl?
trying, and the H was a little bit, the straight lines are better. on
Right.
the
So,
S,
but I'm thinking more Skylar.
Yeah.
Why don't they teach cursive anymore? Let's not even open that bag of worms. Okay.
No,
you know what I
don't.
mean? But think of it Think of it like that.
So I'm going to focus us again so that we can get through our work, if you don't mind.
No.
All right. So we were at 8, and we did say that one of the things we've seen, and I think that's kind of what prompted your idea that music and dance has helped aid Skylar's focus and motivation, was that our behavior intervention plan and the supports in that has shown a decrease in her aggressive outbursts. That's been a great thing. So the next thing is she's not a limited English proficiency student. She does not have visual impairments that we're aware of. The next, that she is not deaf or hard of hearing. And we know that the last thing on this part is that we know that she will qualify for ESY due to the nature and severity of her delay. Okay? So it sounds like I'd like to commend us all that we have completed the present level, the factors, and the transition plan. Can I ask a quick question?
Yes. To me?
Yes. part of the diploma and transition status that we have to review is reminding you that at the age of 18, she is the age of majority unless she has, have y'all been through the process for guardianship?
I have guardianship.
You got that, you went through the courts and got guardianship?
Sure.
All right, I wasn't sure, it struck me last night and I was like, I never asked. So,
Right.
okay, I just wanted to be sure. Because that's one of the things that we do have to talk to parents about is recognizing that at 18, the age of majority, the ability to consent to their IEP transfers to the student as an adult unless the parents have gotten guardianship.
And parents should be privy to that information, but they're not well before 18 because
No,
it
you actually have to
takes
start
some
the,
time.
I tell parents you must submit the paperwork and start the process at 17.
I say 16, but that's
I
just.
don't think the court
They
can't grant it
won't.
until they're 18, so you.
I'm
that's
talking
why.
about the research in
Yes.
itself to be
I
able to
agree.
do it,
I
and
agree.
then 17 you start on because it takes that long to.
But I
get
don't think
done.
I've ever asked that direct question, so I'm glad to hear that guardianship has been completed.
Right.
Okay. All right, we're ready to look at goals.
Okay.
The first goal is adapted PE, and it's on page 14.
All right, Mom, so you're talking about you want to lose fit, so we're gonna have her fitness walking with speed,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna have her Fitbit.
That's right. Is that working with math too?
Yes, it is, but the Fitbit is, it's not the one that goes on your wrist, it's the one that clips on. I know, it's different types, but
Right,
this is the
so right.
school version.
Okay. How does it?
It calculates the steps.
Oh, okay.
It calculates the steps. And so what we wanna do, the goal is no assistance with speed walking. And so when I see Skylar walk faster, she'll walk faster. So right now, we giving her minimum assistance, okay, walk faster, we give her a little prompt to help to know we're fast.
What is the prompt?
The prompt
You're
is,
doing a partial physical
it's
little.
a physical prompt, like, okay,
It's like
walk
this?
this, yes.
Okay,
But not
so
only
right now
that,
she's
it's also
using a
have
physical prompt
You-
to.
For that, come on, come on,
Tell her,
come on.
come on.
But that's a verbal
No.
prompt.
Right.
Yes, it is.
Nonetheless.
And what this is saying is that without that,
Mhm.
she will remain walking at a swift pace on her own. That's what this goal is looking at in 1 year.
Now, but is that with other people? Because I have her do that because she's
Like in
always.
a walking group.
Well, she wants to link on and hold on, and I'm kind of, I allow it when we're around cars, but, I hold my hand out if she just won't come, if she's up playing in the trees. I do different things too, and then sometimes she's just looking at squirrels or whatever, so it seems to, she always sees that prompt every now and again. But
So should
prompt
we
is
say
it
no
2 or
assistance, or should
3?
we add in like a verbal prompt?
Verbal, I say verbal,
A verbal
because touching her usually takes her out of, wherever, she's touched, she'll look up and you loosen
So for the
that.
objective, so we're gonna do verbal cue instead of minimum assistance, because the minimum assistance come for me is a hand prompt.
Hand
Right, but
prompt,
would this be a
and
hand-
a verbal cue?
Without
So you wanna
touching
take
her?
out
That
the
guy
physical-
barbecue?
You wrote it down.
Let's do both. Can we do
I'm
both,
saying,
Mom?
well, I'm saying if you're in front of her,
Mhm.
you don't have to necessarily be behind her, or like y'all are going around the track. Obviously, it depends on where you
Mhm.
are, but I
usually
don't touch
beside
her, right?
By December 2017,
Mhm.
what I hear is that you, with a partial
Mhm.
and a verbal, she's gonna increase her fitness. But then by April, the goal is we don't have to say it and touch her anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it is in the objective that by December, we're gonna try and get it so that she doesn't need currently she's getting a lot of, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. This is saying with, how many?
How many
prompts?
You gotta tell us how many or else we'll never be able to know whether it's decreasing.
Okay.
So if we do, come on, come on, come on.
I know that's hard,
3.
isn't it? That one's hard. It
She-
is.
And the reason why I say it hard, because it depends on
Her mood. It does.
Well, so then you have it set, so what I'm asking is this, I've changed the date on it so that it already says that by December for this objective. So it doesn't have to be written in to the goal, cause that'll make it shorter. You have it down for 3 out of 4 observations. So you've got a little bit of the inconsistency allowed, but I don't wanna go less than 75% of the time.
Mm.
If you go less than 75% of the time, it's just a crapshoot.
I know, but I'm wondering how That's kind of a working goal though, and I mean, between you and I are on the same with that because it's, you have to look at it from a,
So can I say no more than, for the December goal, no more than 3 partial, physical, or verbal?
You can say 5 for her.
5? All right. I mean, that's up to y'all to
That's
tell me.
5.
I'm
You have to
suggesting
say
3 if you say
5.
5. So that's by
Yeah.
December, it's 5. But then you have, but from December to April, none. So I got a problem with that. That's a big leap in a short period of time. How many prompts does it take now to go a distance? Like, is there a set distance you're gonna go and you're just gonna work on getting her faster?
It depends on the weather. Sometimes we outside, sometimes we, you'll be in here.
y'all in the gym or y'all walking up and down the stairs or,
When we inside, we
Right.
go up down the stairs,
Right.
across,
yeah,
the halls.
meandering,
And
yeah.
then when it's nice outside,
Mhm.
we go to the track.
Right, right. Cause I walk her back and I try to go different ways, but up that hill too, I let her go by herself, but I go in front and she follows. So maybe try that and see how it works.
That's
you always,
definitely how we can teach it. What I wanna know
It's the,
is what is our goal so that we know we did something right by using those different strategies. Using the different techniques that you just talked about. How will I know I've got there? I wrote, we're gonna increase her speed, but see, the Fitbit doesn't track speed, it tracks pace.
right,
It tracks
pace.
distance.
and
So how can
steps.
you wrote walking speed as tracked by the Fitbit, so that doesn't kind of work.
She's
I can
gotten
time
faster
her as
though.
well.
She has gotten, I used to run track, so, to allow me to.
But then wouldn't it be that we're gonna have her go 4 times around the track in less time?
She's not able to go a mile.
1 time?
4 times around a track is a mile.
No, do we want her to go around the track 1 time in a shorter time frame?
Oh, okay.
Because if you're talking about speed, then that's not measured
Right.
by a Fitbit.
No, it's not. But
So we
even
have
Or
It's
increase the
measured.
number of steps in a specified
Right,
amount of
amount of
time
time.
because
Are
you
we-
have Fitbit. So
we can
you're
talk
doing
that
10
math.
minutes
There you
and the number of steps will be greater?
right. Well, I mean, I'm thinking she will make it around, but she's gonna want to get down, pull up something, put it in her mouth or whatever.
Or
It's
we
that
outside, take a leave
consistent.
off, so
Right.
Okay, I like what Deb is saying.
So
We're
2
talking
minutes of
about
walking.
a certain number of steps within a certain amount of time, and we're going to increase the steps within that time
Time
frame.
Mhm.
So then so we're gonna increase fitness walking within, what's the time frame you wanna do? Within a 5-minute? What is the time frame you want her to just walk continuously for exercise purposes?
Alright, so generally what we do, we time how many times we go out. Like say for instance, if we outside on the track, we're time and how many laps we take.
How long was that usually?
And that can take, if we prompting her, that can take anywhere from like 10 to 20 minutes.
So if we say that she'll increase her fitness walking within a 10-minute time frame and use the Fitbit to track the steps to be getting faster, so then we're like, okay, starting now, ending now, check the Fitbit, 500 steps.
Right, and so.
By December, 10 minutes, check the Fitbit, it's now 700 steps. But I'm talking about using that time sampling. You keep talking about distance could take 10 to 20 minutes. I'm saying take a time sample and within the same time frame,
How many steps
all
is she-
year long, we compare her steps.
It's like sprints.
I know.
Like run a
I
sprint.
understand.
Okay.
I'm a runner.
Yeah, that's
So I
right.
got-
So that's always like, cause I'm used to the clock, the second clock too.
So we want to increase it, and I'm gonna look at Deb again, cause I need some language about
see
the
where you are.
baseline. I wanna increase it by how much over baseline, right? Cause if I do it
Yeah,
like
but
a
you
10
told
minute
me I have
time.
to have the real number, so now I'm only using the real number, cause you didn't like my 20%. So we
Yeah, I
need to know what the baseline is so that we can give an absolute number in there. I
So,
learned
So
that
you
last
could do
year.
that within
Here's the
3.
question, here's the question. Right now,
in
the
a 10-minute
distance that
time
you-
sample.
the distance that you, in the 10 minutes you're walking with Skylar, How frequently are you prompting either with words, hand prompt, how frequently are you prompting right now?
At least 5 times.
So that's where we are right now.
In that time frame, yes, that's the,
And the goal would be that for 10 minutes, she could walk without any prompting, right?
with no assistance,
So currently, she's taking 5 prompts. So then by December, it should be down to 3,
That's true.
right?
All right, all right, I like where
And
we're
then
going.
hopefully by,
By
she
May.
just gave me one.
No, that's the level of prompting. And that helps me,
But-
because I wrote it down, but
I
okay,
understand.
I know what you're saying. Here's the thing we're gonna do with this goal. Let me see, I'm gonna throw something out there, tell me what you think. We're gonna increase her walking speed within a 10-minute time sample using the Fitbit.
To
and
track the,
to
to track the
number of
steps.
steps in the 10-minute time frame.
Right.
To increase it 20% over baseline.
Can you do that? Tell me that again?
I'm gonna write it out for you and hand it to you.
I'm gonna give you a formula.
Okay. Well, the thing is I don't have a Fitbit calculation yet of her baseline.
No, I just, what the sentence that you just told me.
So increase her fitness walking speed
Mm-hmm,
in a 10-minute time sample
okay,
using the Fitbit
okay. Bit, yeah,
to increase 20% over baseline.
20%.
If our goal is really to increase her speed, I would like to suggest to the group that we look at 5 minutes, because in 5 minutes, she's not gonna get distracted.
That's what I'm
In 10
saying.
minutes, she will be distracted.
That's what I was
So if
saying.
we do 5 minutes, I think it's gonna be more true about her speed and less true about what
else is
What's going on?
whatever else is happening.
See,
So I
Right.
think that's more,
I made
that'll
that
be more
change.
reflective
I
of.
love the teamwork. I made the change. It's a 5-minute time sample.
because are y'all just going around the track? She sees something and she wants to go this
Or you
way.
can-
Right.
You're
but-
still
and on rainy
tracking the
days, we can
numbers.
still walk around the building. So
Right.
even on a rainy
Well, the
day.
truth is, if she can do 5 minutes, like you said, then for her to take a break is not such a bad thing to
Keep going.
find a squirrel.
Right, right.
Or whatever.
But it is a lot.
She like the leaves. She
Right.
like the leaves.
On the tree, yeah.
Whatever it is that, so she gets that break and then you could do 5 more minutes.
Uh-huh.
You know, so you've got increments.
And that's
where you
more
at
data
least-
points. Each data point, you can see, oh, wait a minute, that's consistent, rather than, trying to pull 10 minutes out of Skylar is, if you can ever do that, that's great.
All right, so I would like to propose that, okay, if she currently gets 5 prompts in a 5-minute time sample, then we wanna have an objective for December be 3 prompts. But I'd like to make the final annual goal to still have at least 1
Okay.
prompt.
Will that be fair for her?
Yes.
I think that's fair for any person. You would still have to prompt me, and I'm a grown-up, and I may be choosing to walking, but somebody's gonna have to say, come on, Erin. 'Cause
You can do it, you can do it.
You can do it.
Just
That's-
one
yeah.
more hill.
So then we have set this to be a 5-minute time sample using the Fitbit to increase her steps to 20% over baseline. We just have to get what the baseline is. You have to do your baseline
Yeah,
data.
that, yeah. So I
And
get
then,
that out.
and so we have an objective that says by December, she'll do it, the same exact thing, only with 3 prompts, because she's currently at 5.
So the goal, the decreases in the prompt.
And the baseline of
Baseline
steps.
steps.
So we're looking at both increasing her independence and increasing her steps. All right, I
Well, her
have
steps will increase, because her speed's gonna increase, right?
her speed and her steps. Well, it's the same time sample, so if she
Yeah.
gets more steps in 5 minutes, you know she's going faster. All right. If you would now turn to page 16. It's the work completion goal, because this is a big life goal. This is a big one. This is better behavior. Appropriately comply with tasks and activities, including non-preferred tasks, which we know are math and vocational skills, with and/or without staff support, in the absence of displaying aggressive behavior. And we're evidencing this by 0 intervals of aggressive behavior across 5 school days. This is actually the same goal we had last year. Our progress has been that we see single days with no aggressive behavior. We are not seeing consecutive days. So I want to keep this goal.
Right.
We've had 2 consecutive days
We've had to.
recently, but we have not had 5. So we're on the way. We just,
Have y'all, and you've noticed it though when she comes back from David, right?
do we
I was
always
just,
know? Do we always know when he's?
We don't always know, but you know that the time frame and the behaviors that she does and the way that she does it, you have a good idea.
I usually go, she was with David this weekend. And for you to go, oh, okay, I know what this means, because I've,
And I know that in my conversations, I think when he has asked me about her behavior intervention plan, because he asked me to send the scatter plots every month, we
know why.
he has stated that he recognizes that the different houses have different expectations. And so that it would lead to different responses.
Sure.
He's
He's doing everything for her. He's saying that he's not, but.
I'm not there.
Sure.
I'm
But
not there.
I'm relaying, the proof is in the pudding.
So, but,
Nonetheless, I always say, she came back from David's this weekend. Just so you know, okay, well, wait a minute. She came back from David's this weekend. We know that we're going to have to modify everything and start from this point of origin again because she's backslid because she hasn't been on it. She's only with him 4 days a month, though. So that's good.
well, we have seen good progress in this goal. We just haven't gotten 5 consecutive days, so I want to keep this one the same. Any questions or concerns on that?
I'll write it. Yes, but not distinguishable right
Okay.
now.
The next goal is about communication and requesting. You want me to read it?
Sure.
When presented with a field of 3 choices. Now, here's a different thing. Lori, I want you to really listen to this one because this is different than what we've talked about with that iPad.
Right.
She's got a field of 3 choices.
Mm-hmm.
2 items and an icon that says, I don't want either one.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to choose the reinforcer in 3 out of 5 opportunities with no more than 2 prompts measured quarterly. So now she's going to have to discriminate. Because when she's given that iPad thing with the 6 pictures of things she likes, she can hit any one of them without looking at it, and we can give it to her, and she likes them all, so she's equally
Doesn't
happy.
even matter. Right.
So she's not scanning and discriminating. This teaches discriminating and really intentional communication.
What I do with that too, I move the things around too, and whatever she's getting, then a lot of with me, she'll push it aside or she'll look at whatever, and then put it aside because I don't allow the throwing. But I move
On the iPad
objects, right, and whatever I get her, I'll give her the iPad. Here, show me what do you want? What do you want? And she will look at it and show me, and then she'll push automatically. It's always first the fan. She pushes the fan. I'll go over and have her, let's cut the fan on. I usually don't like her because she cuts it on, cuts it off, cuts it on, cuts it off. But I want her to know she's picked that. Let's go over here. She cut the fan on. All right, let's have a seat. What did you just show me? What is that? What is that? Was that the fan? Show me the fan. So we're already, what do you want? Okay, what did you just show me? So it's always reinforcing. Because that fan is going to be in a different place next time.
Okay,
So
you
she
do
better
the
get it right
icons
this time
around.
because she's not going to get the fan. And that goes with everything. Then I'll go in, okay, what do you want now? TV. And it's same concept over and over and over. So she knows she's got to look.
She's got to scan.
Because
We
she's
wanna
not
carry
getting that
over here in
TV.
school.
She's not getting that juice. She's not getting whatever.
Yeah.
And then if she pushes something else and give it to her, right. So there's always have to shift it around.
Yeah.
Just
And that's why we want to add in the I don't want either, because one of them may be something she completely doesn't want. Or both. I mean, hey, we all get sick of stuff sometimes. So it sounds like we're in agreement that this one is really a really necessary, good next step for her.
And we've gathered some initial data with this to see how she will do with it, and she really, I think, gets the fact that I don't want either one, and we go, oh, well, thanks for letting me know, and we flip to a new board. Here are your 3 choices.
Right,
Which one would you like?
right.
And sometimes she'll point right at it's a circle with a line through it, and it says, I don't want either one, and when she hits it, that's what it says.
Right.
And she gets this big smile on her face like, oh, that means you're gonna interact with me.
What
I mean,
control do
it's
I
almost a
have?
reinforcing because it's the interaction. She's
Right.
really enjoying
Oh, yeah.
interacting.
Oh,
I mean, she really likes that back and forth, and
Right.
so I have 3 boards so far made up. One is an item we really thought she would want. One is the dust mitt,
uh-huh.
because it's brand clean, it's never been used,
The one with the,
and it's got the texture on it.
right.
But we wanted it not to be reinforcing since the 6th word. So
Hmm.
I'm excited with what she's doing, and I'm excited that she's initiating and pushing on.
And with that too, that's just a choice with everything. I'm giving her a choice of everything.
Yep.
She goes in,
Good.
picks out whatever from the fridge that she wants. I'm like, you really want that? All right, it's hot. It's sriracha sauce. It's hot. You know, you're gonna learn hot. But clothes every night. She knows she gets. You want to wear this or this. You want to wear this or this. I'm just at 2.
That's great.
Some things I'm at 3, but you don't have to just do, I don't want that. So it's not just the iPad, it's, you know, the concrete, tangible, whatever that you guys are using as well. So it's always a choice with anything. With Ever too, okay? If you're gonna drink, are you gonna drink juice? Or are you gonna drink water that looks like juice? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Water, she doesn't do
Oh,
water.
you just a memo.
Right, but just everything is a choice. Here, do you want this or do you want this? I even do that too. Well, they're the same thing. What do you mean? Of course I would. Right, so
Trigger.
I do.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we
So
all like choices. I mean, that's part of us controlling our environment.
right, but in that too, I mean, is it always the same thing? You know, right. But
Right.
I'm just throwing out questions. Because I'm like, wait a minute, she is used to this is here, and she's not paying attention to what she's pushing on the iPad.
Right.
So I switch up.
Yeah.
We pull it away. If she's not looking at it
Right.
and definitely doing it when she's doing one of these,
Mm-hmm.
we pull it away and don't honor the choice, because you have to look at what you want. You need
Right.
to. And then Wendy's helped with some comprehension checks.
Yeah, we've done some correspondence checks, because I just wanna make sure that she's actually choosing what she wants.
She wants,
It's not
right.
always completely clear.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it was pretty accurate.
Right.
We would hold up the 2 items and say, okay, take it.
Uh huh.
You just asked for it, now take it.
No. Sometimes.
But she
So
actually did.
that's that. Yeah.
Take the one that she pressed on the iPad.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
So she's made the connection between that
interesting,
business.
yeah.
Very
And
nice.
and with that too, you make a lot of the flashcards too. I've kind of gotten away from it because we only have like a minimal amount of time. But everything that she's doing, because she can't read, but either can ELL kids, right? They don't know the land, don't know Chinese, but they learn it. So same concept. You can learn the letters. You can learn that from every time. Consistent. That's how you learn how to read. You know, just as long as we're open to that as well. I mean, I know that you guys have, you know, this and that, but if she can always have, you know, this is a pen, you know, these are tissues, whatever is, everything is labeled, she automatically, you know, these are Kleenex, what have you, she automatically
And a lot of the
knows.
things you'll see is the photograph and the name underneath it, and they're paired together.
Right.
So that you know that this picture of a pen has the word pen
Pen
underneath
on it, and then,
so that
yeah.
you pair them together.
Uh-huh.
She may not always be attending to all of the visual information she's taking in.
Right, but it's
but
still
present.
subconscious,
But
right,
it's present.
right, and
we talked about that,
eventually, yeah.
With like we talked about that last year with having the clock face next to the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Not because she's gonna read the clock, but it's pairing the understanding so that we're hoping that over time she might pick it up.
Right. And it
But
didn't,
it's-
you know, I mean, it's all subconscious too, even that in
And
any
we don't know what
situation.
she's taking
Right,
because
like
she's
I
not really
peripheral and,
happy
you
to
know.
share with us all
Right,
the time.
yeah. And then you go into the cognitive, okay, well, you don't remember that you know it, but you do know it, and then it eventually, you know, okay. Good.
So I think we're good on the requesting goal. We've talked a lot about how to teach it, but also how she's been making good progress lately about discriminating, which is great. On page 19, we have the functional independence goal. This is a little different. This is a community-based activity. So, and I had a long Wendy and I had a long conversation about this, and I could not take out the adult supervision
No.
and one verbal or visual reminder. But because obviously there's no room for error here, so there must be staff all around. But we want her to stop at the curb and push the button to get the crossing light when she reaches an intersection. I have a very low percent of 50% of the opportunities, because right now, we do it 100% of the time, right? She's not stopping at the curb independently and pushing the light in no one's experience. So I have a 50% of the time between now and next April. I'd like her to just know she has to come to a stop, but we also have a verbal or visual reminder, and that might be, I mean, we may have to give her a visual reminder of stop.
I had a few blind friends, and I'm trying to go into, you know, how, of course, they're not cognitively, you know, at the same level, but there's something into that connection of safety with that, and I just haven't, I don't have the time or energy to really focus, but it's in there. So I think I'm gonna come up with it or find somebody that can go, you know, there's something with that you can go, you know, how you hear the ding, 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 that it's going, that you notice about time is going out. There's something there that because she doesn't lack depth perception. I haven't figured that one yet out.
What's nice is that in many of the cases where we have stop signs or stop walk signs, they also have those on the ground.
Right, thingies.
They're like bubbles.
Thingy,
The textured.
right.
I'm really saying this very poorly. And
No, but why we would, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
the
so
little
that it feels different when you walk on it.
Right.
As another cue.
Exactly.
It's not, it feels different on our feet as well as looking to see the light. But, so this one is about being able to stop at the curb, push the button. It's a very beginning step to greater independence.
But just learning left and right. I mean, we almost got hit by the, you know, the buses come like really fast down there. Just, you know what I mean? So I try to make a concerted effort to go, yeah, right? They don't care. They just, you know, sometimes they'll actually stop for us in the middle of the road. It's really, so yeah, maybe you might want to
Mention it.
right.
Please
No,
watch
you
for
see
pedestrians.
it, but tell them that your parent that has, you know, said something. So, but there's something with that too. Oh my gosh, Scarlett, wait, hold up. You know, you gotta look this way, and I turn her head because she's on. She just, but
And I
so
think
anyway,
the
there's definitely
discriminating
something
on
with that.
the board will also start the idea of like scanning your environment.
Right.
She looks, she's aware of things, people that enter her environment, but I don't think she understands the idea that,
The people are gonna hurt her,
that,
or the cars are gonna hurt her.
yeah, that idea that I must stop and look and
And-
decide, is it safe?
Right.
But this is just the bare minimum of safety, and I know the percentage is low, but I think it's, at this point, we're gonna go from 0 to 50%, which I think is a very ambitious.
Very.
Okay, I'm okay for ambitious. And here's the way that, the objectives have it listed as 4 physical and verbal. So 4 prompts, and then we're gonna reduce it to 3 prompts, and then reduce it even more to just 3 gestural or verbal prompts. Those are the objectives that will help us get to the ultimate goal of just the 1 verbal prompt.
I'm wondering,
or
like,
gesture.
I'm still trying to figure this one out because I've always, it's a big thing, it's a safety issue.
Yes.
If the person is maybe in front, like I do, I experiment with her though, so, but if they're walking in front and they see that, or she sees that they're stopped,
Will she stop?
right,
She's not yet.
right, she does with me, but, you
She'll
know,
stop walking with you. I don't know that she'll do that with everyone.
No,
And
I
that's another
don't,
piece.
right, so that's, right, so I know that she does it with me.
Well, that's why it says with adult
Um,
supervision. So somebody will be with her to give that kind of cue to stop.
Right, because she can't go there. I'm just thinking of safety issues. Maybe she would keep going on. I don't give her that ability to walk in front into. I'm always in front of her, and then she automatically just kind of stops and links in. So I'm working on that one.
So maybe you can start fading to be next to instead of always in front.
No. I'm just talking about I'm in front of her in different areas. I walk, you know, on the side or on the left of. I'm still working through that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this goal is a good one.
She likes pushing those, but even to know, because if you push this one, it's for the other side too. So that's a whole nother, because I get confused myself. I'm like, wait a minute, this is going, then I'm smart, I can figure this out.
Push them both.
I do.
The arrows in the elevator.
I
you can't
do.
figure out which one's open
So-
because they're this.
No, let's be greater than less than. So I just
The
mental
elevator
block.
thing drives me crazy.
No,
Like, which one do
no.
I press to get it open? I don't know.
No, I
As the
just-
Go as the door
Listen.
closes in someone's face. Sorry, not that smart.
Or the person keeps doing like this. Right. So that's a big thing. 50%. That's.
It's ambitious, but we'll.
Would you feel more comfortable with her having a gate belt on until you feel that
Mm.
staff? I mean, you were saying it's different with you than people
I
she
like the
doesn't
gate
know.
belt idea.
Are you
What
talking
is
about like
that?
the little monkey thing with
No,
the?
there's just little.
Like a belt and you got a leash.
And then you can, no, not a leash,
Oh.
something you can grab on.
That's what I do with a backpack.
Okay.
The back I
I know, I
have.
do that too with backpacks.
I mean,
But it's a good
well,
idea.
if y'all want to
They
learn,
have it in the classroom.
right? There's certain pressure point. You probably teach them this with self-defense, but there's certain pressure points that you can get to make people. It's all about there's pressure points that you can hit to make people do things that they don't want to do.
Yeah, that's a
And
self-defense thing. Yeah.
without that, because I used to have a monkey on her back, and she likes things. I don't know. I would think with that though, she would be more focused on because it's a belt, and she wants to do that rather than watch where she's
On her
going.
Will it distract her from her environment?
Right. That's
I
because
think
with the
you just have to see.
keys, she does that too.
However,
Mm.
however, what I heard is that she wears a backpack regularly, and that's okay, and that doesn't distract her.
Mm-mm.
Could that serve the same purpose without being a distractor on her back, or does?
We don't use the gate belt anymore, but we used to use the gate belt when she used to drop all the time. And in the process of getting her from dropping, she didn't pay any attention
Okay.
to the
So
gate
the
belt,
gate
so
belt
there
doesn't-
was no.
Is it something that could be used to just ensure her safety without distracting
So
her?
it doesn't distract her.
Yeah.
It doesn't distract her.
It doesn't distract
Oh,
her.
then by all means.
Okay, but do we need that in the goal?
No, I just.
No, I think
Oh,
it
okay,
gives
okay,
you
I just-
something that
that's a
would
great
be
way to help
dated out
teach it
there.
Because
and
I,
make
I'm
us feel-
you're concerned about safety.
And
I'm
allow
concerned
those of
about
us that
safety.
don't do
Yeah.
it all the time, like,
Yeah.
if there was a gate belt, I would be comfortable going with her
Yeah.
across
yeah.
the street to
I
Chick-fil-A
know.
or whatever, because
Yeah.
I would have a way to stop her.
Yeah.
Sure.
But it's not a typical thing that I'm doing in my session.
Right.
So I would feel more comfortable that I could grab her and keep her safe,
But
because it's
you
all
could
about
s-
being safe.
Right, sure, but there's still areas on, like when I'm walking with her and I try to disconnect to make her be more independent. When she does certain things, I'll just, around through her back to make her, because she's always looking wherever, whatever angel is following her. I don't know what her name is, but she's very adamant about staying there, so I have to go in, push her this way to make her go that. It's like riding a horse, if you will. So you don't necessarily, if it makes you feel comfortable, good, but
I just want to
if
keep her
it
safe
doesn't
if I'm the one
distract
doing it.
or what have you,
Yeah.
then okay, but it's not really necessary if you know the right points to put. And it's not even, grabbing her. I'll, just literally, if I'm walking with her with a backpack, I'll take the backpack and twist it this way, twist it that way, and it'll guide you that way. But just
All
keep that
I'm
in
gonna bring
mind.
us back.
Right, yeah.
Sorry. Let's go.
Because that's a big thing, though.
I'm glad that,
scared.
no, but I wanna make sure that you're aware that the gate belt is something that A, doesn't distract her, but B, helps us ensure she's safe while we teach her this goal. Number 5 is functional reading. And this one is about her understanding of the things, so that we're getting those comprehension checks, so that we know she knows what's going on, what is in her environment. So given a field of 5 pictures with labels, that's what you're talking about, a picture of something with a label. Select her picture paired with her name with no more than 2 gestural prompts. So this is about
Hold on,
her
wait.
recognizing herself and her name in print.
Are we wait a minute, page 21.
I'm on page 21. So if she's got pictures of different things and people in her environment, we're asking her to select her picture of herself with her name. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, I have her in the mirror a lot too.
Okay, good. So then,
She'd have to have a personal mirror though, because if like Diego was looking, hey, I'm Skylar.
no, we're gonna
You know,
we're gonna
kinda
do
thing.
photographs.
Right.
On the table, where is your picture? Where's Skylar? So she's gotta pick herself out of a group. So
Oh, okay. Like
it'll
that.
be her picture and her name. And
Right.
it can be other people, and we can start to test out, can she identify other people in her environment?
Sure.
Picture of you,
Uh-huh.
a picture of Miss Forrester.
Right, sure.
We can say, where's what do they call you, Miss Deb? Miss Forrester. Where's Skylar? Where's Diego? Where's Mom?
Right.
And so it'll have a picture of her and her name. And so we're
Right.
again pairing the print
people to the
with the
thing.
person, but this is about helping us get started on her discriminating.
People from
Because
yeah.
that's also a skill she'll need to have as she clocks into her job. She'll have to
I
find her
usually
name.
thought that I forgot it's propaganda. It's face blindness. I always thought that she had face blindness.
Do you see that?
No, she definitely does. She
Okay,
knows me.
good.
Even with my hair, or I try to like come in and be quiet, and she knows me. So I know that it's not that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. So that's a reading goal to kind of get us started on her discrimination, especially of pairing her name with her picture. Page 22 looks at vocational skills. And this one is when she's given a visual icon and a direction, she will follow a receptive instruction to identify 5 different household items in a simulated apartment out of a field of 3. So if she's given 3 pictures and I say, show me the dish soap, she's gonna be able to pick the dish soap. Can you show me I'm thinking of different things in the house.
Can we make a list though? I mean, how do y'all make the list? Is
It would be nice if we could get things that are common at home and in our apartment.
Sure, but I'm just thinking about, well, maybe if it was a functional goal, like when we go with our lesson plan, okay, well, I have to teach these kids, this is a lesson. This week we're gonna be working on, silverware, going within the theme, within a certain amount of time, and then she keeps seeing those words, keeping those words. When she's feeding herself, get your fork, where's your spoon?
We can,
To
that's what
that
I wanna do, is
effect,
if
yeah.
we get a list, we're gonna try and do 5 different household items. And we wanna get items that are true in both home and school. So it could be dish soap, and we would want a picture of whatever dish soap, how people have certain brands that they always buy. So whatever brand you buy, having a picture from home so that we know that she's identifying it here and at home, because we'll have a different dish soap. Dish
Right,
soap
but
is dish soap.
you know what? I have the same thing, and I pour the soap into it.
Uh-huh. Oh, it's a little dispenser?
Yeah, I got it from
The
World
one
Market.
with the
and
sponge?
No, I got, World Market had this one with the really pretty flowers, and it was
So
lavender.
it's a decorative
and
dispenser
Right,
for soap.
yeah.
Okay, so then your
But
dish
because
soap is not a good idea.
we're working like this, doing shampoo. So she doesn't know the difference between shampoo, conditioner,
Yeah.
bleach. She doesn't
Well,
know
when we're
any
talking
of
about
that.
the apartment, we're gonna talk about things that are, not bathroom items, but like
Mhm.
kitchen
Mhm,
or, cleaning items.
mhm.
We have a washer and dryer, we have a dishwasher, we have a sink, we have a
Bed.
stove, we have the bed. So it might be sheets,
Mop.
could be
Pillow,
mop, could be
towels.
towels,
Pillow,
laundry basket.
only one utensil, don't mix up the utensils until we know she's got whichever one
She
you wanna use. Spoon consistently.
What, that thing that y'all have, the laminated, the black and white with the spoon placement
The
set?
placement.
Right, is that what y'all are working with that? With the cutting, or
We worked with several
has she,
different
right.
mastered it and things, she hasn't mastered it.
No.
She's gotten but she's getting the idea
Right.
of,
She knows
putting it
juice.
on.
She knows juice. She knows how to pick it up. But I'm just saying, if y'all, even too with muscle memory, just do it over and over and over and over, and eventually, like weaning a baby. But, y'all know the intervals and what have you with that. But I've noticed just within the past month, she's strong. Sunny D, big old thing of Sunny D. I know.
And she's able to pour it
I
into the
just
cup
made.
on her
I
own?
know. Well, so
It's a mess.
well, Skylar is a mess. I said it. Okay, but we know. But there's a whole movement of she is undoing everything herself.
Yeah.
And she is, and she's looking over here, looking at me like, I've done it! I've done it!
As it spills on the table.
Some of it gets in, she'll do a little couple of drops, it'll get up to here, and I'm like, ah!
Well, I like that she's
So-
looking at you for approval.
Yeah.
That's a nice joint attention experience, that you're sharing the experience together.
Right,
That's
but
great.
that, I've
As
got,
opposed to you're there and she's doing this.
no,
Because I've
she's,
seen that.
right, no, so that whole thing, we are working with that, so if we can integrate that, because I'm really big into the juice. I know Sunny D's not the best, but you work with what you got. So, it is, I mean, I've noticed too with the rotation from the hands and the, her upper build, she's
Gaining
almost
in
mastered that.
Okay.
So maybe kind of put that in too, because she knows juice, she knows certain things, she knows her
Food
cup.
items, we were gonna stay away from food items and
Right.
stay mostly around those functional household
Right, because
utensils
I'm,
and objects.
right, I'm working like washing the dishes and doing all of that, but that's a whole, I'm doing everything, literally
Well, this is looking
for,
at identifying them in a picture so that we know she knows the names. I
right,
wanna know that she knows the names of things so that when we say, go get the dish soap, she's like, I know this is dish soap. So we wanna.
and it's
this is it.
labeled.
Yep.
Right, so,
So that's what we're gonna start with first, because then as we're moving about the apartment and start putting on the sheets, if I say go get the sheets, I have data that says she can pick up, she knows sheets, because when I say show me the sheets, she can go like this.
right,
So then when I say go get the sheets,
right.
we're
She
on the
knows
same
where they-
page, and I'm
right.
not speaking Greek
Mhm.
and then having to teach her. So we're gonna do both at the same time. We're gonna continuously give her practice on in the apartment, but this is a way to help make sure that we have data to show she knows the vocabulary that we're gonna be teaching her while we teach it. So we're gonna do both.
And she's got 3 different, I use English, Italian, and Arabic with her. So, and you guys are just
We
using
just do English.
I know, I'm taking all this into consideration because any bilingual or polylingual, obviously, your brain is more, I'm working through that too, but I'm not gonna just speak English to her. I'm not gonna.
Oh, that's
So,
fine. Now, one of the things that I think is really also a nice functional skill is number 7, the reading the 23. Last year, we had a reading schedules goal, and she was able to demonstrate that she understood at least 2 of the items on her schedule, because she would look at the picture and go do that, go to that location. This one, we wanna see if we can get her to do more by following a schedule in a context. So this is about a reading a picture recipe schedule.
Right,
So she'll prepare the food as indicated to demonstrate comprehension for 2 different activities. So we're gonna create a picture schedule of how to complete
like a sequence.
of some sort of food or recipe.
Right, and hence, like what I do when we're
Like-
going in.
Like a good example is the lemonade. You get a scoop of the lemonade, put it in the cup. You get this much water. You just said Sunny D. Now you gonna make fun of me with my lemonade?
I'm thinking Tang. I go back to Tang, and it just brings bad memories.
It's not Tang, it's country time.
I know. Crystal light, whatever. I know.
But
I
if
use
she's given that
flashback of.
visual sequence of steps, will she be more successful? Because it's in context and it has an immediate outcome.
Right.
So it's the same idea of reading a schedule and demonstrating her understanding of the schedule as a picture schedule.
Right.
But it has a shorter duration and it has a definite outcome that she will like, because she gets to have something to eat or drink.
I know. I was trying to think what her favorite foods. If we can go into, she can make her own peanut butter and jelly or whatever. 2 different steps like that too.
That's it. So we have it set up with 2 separate activities. So one could be making the drink, and the other, in a year, can we get her to? It could be PB&J, or maybe
Or
just
what
PB.
have?
PB sandwich. We may start with just one.
I wouldn't start with peanut butter. I'm telling you, it
Start with
will
jelly.
be a. That is probably. I just said it because she loves it.
Okay, so
But
then
it's probably
we won't
not
do
a
that.
good idea
All
because
right.
it's quite messy. But something to that effect.
So if I
how
give you the
many
job of
steps.
thinking of something and we can collaborate on, like, what would those two activities be? I know that we have the materials for making lemonade. And so I'd like to start with lemonade, and while we're teaching lemonade, because again, it's muscle memory.
But that's math too.
Yep. Then we can think about what is
And
our
language.
second activity gonna be while we teach the lemonade. Because we can get started on the lemonade as soon as we get consent. We just have to create the visual task and the visual steps of the sequence. So I want you to put a pause on your thinking, because you're now planning this out, and I want you to come back and I wanna make
Right,
sure we
right,
finish this. The next goal we have on page 24 is social skills. When presented in a field of 5, she'll identify pictures of 3 peers and 3 family members with no more than 2 gestural prompts. So this is about her identifying the important people in her life. And I think this is a really good functional goal for her to be able to understand
I know that
and identify people that are important for her.
I wonder if I'm always going to be in it though, so she knows me. So I think
That's
that
why we
would
have
be
3
right.
family
But I'm
members.
thinking like if I could be, I'm always a good baseline though, just to like reinforcement of, oh my God, Mama. I know I sound. She does love me though, so that's good.
Of course.
But like David, she sees him 4 days a week. I'm wondering if I could, a month, right? Yeah.
Here's
I
the
wonder if
thing,
I could get
we-
pictures of her sisters.
Well, see, that's what is, for us to have pictures of family members, we're gonna have to ask
get
you guys
that.
to give them to us, because we're not going to the house and knocking
No.
and then snapping a picture.
Downloading Facebook.
Yeah, we're not gonna creep that.
See, I know.
We won't be stalking
No.
anyone to get the picture, so we'll
Um,
need family collaboration
I
to
know,
get
I
the
just-
pictures that we'll need, and the names, because we don't know her sister's names, so that would be a great way for us to collaborate in getting the pictures.
Right.
We'll start with your picture and some other, and what about other friends does she have other children or other teenagers she hangs out with now?
Not anymore. That's what I've been kind of. We've been on the bottom rung of the fringes for the past 2 years, and
Have you thought about putting her back in the therapeutic rec?
No,
after
she's
school?
actually too old, but mine is more of a money safety issue that I had to pick
out
up
of there.
all the pieces and
Okay.
repair my child.
Okay,
So
and I'm
and
gonna-
that's
Are there,
all in the works
do we
too.
know of
But
any after school, more adult focused? Say it again?
She can
Miracle
actually,
League.
there is, no, yeah, the
For
Miracle
someone of
League,
her
they do
age?
some sports and all, but the therapeutic rec does have
They
an
do have an adult.
that's an
adult
adult,
program,
but they're
which
like
is,
Well,
well,
actually not true.
no.
What's that?
You know,
other than
the kid-
Philip.
There are probably some kids that
No,
that
she's younger than
Right,
me.
but it's a
She's
money
much younger.
issue until I can get her in a safe environment and know that there's a lot of basic needs that are not being met, and I'm in poverty, and I can beat the dead horse, but y'all got me broke. Y'all broke me.
No, but I wonder if that's something that we can look at through the ID waiver or CSB.
Well, that is
Is
would
that
act.
something that's an option? That's something we can explore.
I've been doing it
And-
for 2 years. If y'all could pick up the pace, like I've been asking for advocates for the past forever and ever and ever
So
and
let
ever.
us, can we look at, it's a 2-part thing though. A, we can look and see are we allowed to use 2 different avenues to assist with funding? Then, if funding would be allowed, you would need to then explore to see if you would be comfortable sending her there for safety and supervision purposes. That's a whole different thing. But if we can look into, are there opportunities where either the ID waiver or CSB funding could support that? I don't know the answer to that, so I'm gonna
Right,
tell
so
you right
Juliet
now, my disclaimer
Milashev,
is, I don't know.
she's always out and not really doing. She leaves me to do her work, so I can only do so much. But she's going to be gone for another month.
Who's this? This is
Her,
what-
the CSB
So,
person.
Mom, I'd like to do some exploring for you. If therapeutic rec is something you might be interested in,
Well, she was in there for a long time, and her
And
friends.
we
That's
could-
why I'm so adamant.
and we could find the funding.
I really want her into, because I have a lot of problems with balloons there too. There's a lot of safety issues there.
And that's the second part of that. Like, if funding was able to be found, You then have to go and see, are you comfortable doing it? 'Cause
Right,
if
well,
it's no and no, then it's no.
I would be willing to, since I do have the training and the knowledge and the know-how and the capabilities and the strength and everything that everyone needs, I'm open up a nonprofit and I'll go in and do that. I've been doing a lot of work, so they don't have the people that they're paying $7 an hour to not be able to communicate with me because, look, I'm an English teacher, but I speak 5 languages, and they're sending me people that I cannot communicate with that don't want to work.
Oh,
Pay me, I'll do
The
it.
respite workers?
Right. Pay me, I'll do it because I'm teaching and training babysitters over and over and over and over,
Yeah.
and they're not doing. So that's a whole nother beast too. So I am looking into.
I believe.
Y'all pay me, I do it anyway. I've
Yeah.
been doing it. We can go into backlogs. We can go into.
I don't want to.
Yeah, so that's a whole nother beast in itself. But yes, I am looking towards something because I can show you skills. I can. Yeah, I'm the
Okay.
person that they need to pay because I know what needs to get done and I know how to do it. Period. So.
All right.
But there's that, yeah.
So we
And
can
I've
maybe
looked
do
into
some
that.
exploration and then you can make some decisions, but if it
But if
doesn't
you're
work-
trying to work with Juliet, know that she's not around and she doesn't.
She's out of the office for a little bit.
A lot.
Okay.
So you may need to speak with someone else other than her that's above her. I
So-
just don't want you going in and beating a dead horse just from experience.
Understood. No, I appreciate the help. So listen, it is 2:57 on my clock. We had a 1 to 3 p.m. time frame
Perfect.
set to this meeting.
Mhm.
We had hoped to be able to finish the whole thing.
It'd be impossible.
So we still
So many
have,
questions.
we have 3 goals left, accommodations and services.
Mhm.
So it looks like we may need to meet again
We should do it after I speak with Dawes.
after May 10th.
Mm.
That's like 3 weeks away though. I don't want to wait 3 weeks
Oh, right, wait.
because it's only the 21st today.
Because we need to finish this
Right.
before we speak to him. Okay, right.
So
right,
is it possible, now I know that, Mr. Hamlin may send us his availability as well.
As a legal guardian, I don't really see
But
a
if you're
necessity
available-
for him
Then
to be
let's
involved
send-
in the
let's
first
send-
place
let's
because
send
he's
him
washed
a
his
meeting now.
hands.
If you're
He's washed
available,
his hands. I'm sorry.
Let's set another meeting date now.
Please.
so then, could we look at the week of May 1st?
That is,
Not next week, but the week after.
like a Wednesday, Friday.
What's good for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got her this weekend. Yes, or next weekend. So not this weekend, but the next week. So you're talking about not next week, but the week after?
Right.
Do y'all want to do it on the Monday? Or Monday, Wednesday, or something to that effect?
Monday, May 1st?
Morning.
Monday, May 1st?
Monday morning.
Monday
Nice.
morning?
Mon-
Ladies, I gotta look at these ladies.
I'm still waiting to sign in,
Oh,
you know, the.
Oh, onto
server
the
thing.
system?
Uh-huh.
So what would be morning time, like 8:30? Or do you have to finish a duty?
no, if I know ahead of time, I can get somebody out there.
Okay.
So we can
You have
start
the
it.
drop off though.
Right, so what I do is I bring her in I usually bring her in at 8, then I go home and rush and walk the dogs really quick because he's old, so,
Do you wanna do 8:45,
9?
9 o'clock?
Yeah,
Okay. Sorry, we just,
Does that
Laura,
work?
let you get in. Nobody should,
It doesn't matter.
we don't need to talk, we need to let you.
I'm all over, so I'll make it work.
You're
she,
Yeah.
I wonder if, we probably should leave her out of it though, right, you think? I mean, because you said Mondays and Wednesdays she usually has it, so would that be, she would be in doing whatever she's doing, right? She doesn't necessarily need to be here. Skylar doesn't
Skylar,
need to be here.
She signed in her first meeting, so
Oh.
she has participated, she does not, if you would like her to be being educated, she does not have to be here. It's up
Yeah.
to you.
Especially if it seems that she would be in PE too.
If
Monday.
No, I'll be at Mount Vernon at that time. I'm not gonna be here until 10:30.
Mhm.
But on Monday, I'll be here at
But-
9:30. I mean, not on Monday.
I know that you're
Wednesday.
part of the team, but do you think that we could go?
You
We
can
could
both,
go
yeah. So
without,
you can
and then we
excuse
can
me.
go in.
Since
Yeah.
we already went over,
We could do
APs.
that.
The goals for that,
Mhm.
and then you and I can go in and
Yes,
set up some
so-
PowerPoints or
Mhm.
whatever, and just go from that
Mhm.
route. Yeah. I do everything online too, and Skype and Google Hangouts and whatever, LMSs and stuff. So I'm used to working, not to say that we have to go and hang out on Skype, but if you send me something and go, well, you know,
Okay.
how about this, then it's a lot easier than taking out time and driving and whatnot. It's good.
All right, it sounds like everybody is in agreement that we can do,
Yeah, but I have to, I mean, it is a peak therapy day, but I'll just have to work it out.
if we're all in agreement, then we have a date set for Monday, May 1st at 9 a.m.
Yep.
And we'll, work to make sure we have a room and,
Do that right now.
and then, send out a calendar invite so that everybody's on it and has it on their calendars for, huh? And you're gonna be excused. Adaptive fees, teacher.
I'm sitting here ready to invite.
Reason, what am I gonna do?
Sorry, I've lost it all, can you tell?
Conflict of
I feel fine.
Or you could put in, rather, instead of that we're collaborating outside of the school, yeah, whatever, however you would word it like that. Cause that's ongoing.
Outside of meeting.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but that's basically kind of ongoing, cause, yeah, I'm doing a lot of detoxing with the charcoal and baking soda and, you know, turmeric and holy, yeah, turmeric, garlic, all garlic, and onions, and, but anyway, yeah, I'm gonna start taking notes with that too, cause I'm really concerned about, I was like, oh, she looks pregnant, and then I'm thinking, she looks pregnant, she
Oh,
does
I
look
haven't
pregnant.
noticed that. Like, I haven't looked at her and gone, hey, what's going on there? And
I have.
this is today's meeting notice. This is, and I had this when I saw you on Wednesday, but it just didn't seem the right time to say, can you sign this, by the way? But by signing back here, if you would initial next to the I can attend and sign a date today, that says that you were notified that we were having a meeting today and we're gonna be able to attend today. And then I'm making a new meeting notice for the May 1st.
Right. I think
I
I,
was gonna issue you
didn't
that.
I thought I
You
saw
signed the
this.
initial one. for the
Right,
first
that's what it
one.
was.
Okay, in the meeting notice, I'm writing TBD, and I'll change it once I'm sure on where we're meeting.
Should I retro date?
You can date it for today.
Oh,
That is
okay.
not a problem. Cause I indicated that, I mean, and I have emails that you've said I can attend. So I'm able to,
Today's the,
21st.
21st.
and I'm gonna list that Skylar is not gonna attend, but we have permission to proceed without her. And we're ready to go. Ladies, we're all ladies here.
So Mom, I would just wanna ask now, do you wanna, you wanna keep recording each of the sessions? Like, I wanna be prepared, cause I'm the reason we were late today, cause I was trying to get this all together.
Right, yeah,
So
cause
do you
I
want me
was
to-
just, can I update you? Cause I was
Just
just
let me know before. the
beforehand, right, because I was,
You have a
No
meeting.
problem.
I didn't know.
Yeah, no problem.
We were like, well, you need to, and I'm like, "Mm." So, anyway.
Okay, just let me know ahead of time so I can be sure I
Sure.
want us to get started on time for you,
Sure.
so I'll make sure it's done ahead.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
We're ready and done and, all is right with the world so far today. And it's stopped raining and it's sunny again.
Will it stay that way?
I don't know, they say no. All right,
All right, ladies.
thank you.
Yes,
Yeah, I
thank
did the same
you.
thing, I gave us a quick survey. So we're on goal 9, which is the speech language goal where we will start next time we meet. Gracias, de nada,
Arrivederci.
arrivederci, ciao.
Ma Salena.
See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
All right, you guys, let me go grab her.
Let's pause from our.
Was ist los? Eccoci.
No, I don't know how to get,
Right.
You're gonna take care of that.
So